At least 9 people have lost their life and around 60 others have been injured after a goods train collided with the Sealdah-bound Kanchanjunga Express near the Rangapani station in West Bengal. Railway Minister Ashwini Vaishnaw, as you can see on your screens, was there. He in fact responded immediately on X and then later on also flew down to check up on the people who have been injured. The collision had caused 3 rear compartments of the express train to derail, and in fact the train's wagon can also be seen suspended mid-air. Reports are indicating that the reason for this accident is a signalling error. Union Railway Minister Ashwini Vaishnaw visited the spot of the accident to review the damage and also visited the injured passengers at the hospital. Meanwhile, the centre has announced an ex-gratia of rupees 10 lakh each to the kin of the deceased, as well as rupees 2.5 lakh for those who have been injured in the accident. Now, the big question that arises is what changes are needed to improve the railway sector? What changes must be brought in immediately to ensure that India is accident-free when it comes to our railways? Joining us on the show is Mr. Sudhanshu Mani, creator of Vande Bharat train, former General Integral Coach Factory, Indian Railways. Also joining us on the show is Mr. T.S. Ramakrishna, railway expert. Naveen Kumar Bhatnagar, former DIG NDRF, also joins us on the program to talk more about this. Gentlemen, thank you so much for being here. Mr. Mani, I'll begin with you, sir, if you're there with us.
Yes, I'm here.
So thank you. Appreciate you took out the time. You're an expert in this field. People will hold on and latch on to every word that you have to say. First of all, what would you attribute this accident to? Now, we are all aware of the peripheral matter that plagues our railways today. And one of them is the Kavach system, which is not present in a number of trains. And it so happens that this route and this train was also not under the Kavach Suraksha. What would you categorize this accident as? And when do you think India is going to be ready for a scenario and an ecosystem when we do not have any accidents, either resulting from a driver error or resulting from a signal error?
Okay, first thing first. So the accident has taken place because of a human error. See, all information is not available based on the information available so far. And the human error is because there was a signal failure in the automatic signaling territory. In such a situation, there is a protocol to be followed by the drivers. In the present case, the goods train driver should have stopped at the red signal, waited for a minute, and then moved on at a restricted speed. Apparently, it appears from the images of the impact that driver not only did not stop, but also moved on at a high speed, which in my opinion would have been not less than 40 kilometers per hour, probably higher. Now, this is a human error on part of the driver. When human errors would continue, you can sensitize people, you can train people, you can have drives and so on, but it's not possible to totally eliminate it. That's why the use of technology to override human failures, human mistakes. In the present case, Kavach. In earlier accidents, there has been some discussion whether Kavach could have prevented it or whether Kavach could have reduced the impact, so on. But this is a perfect case where had Kavach been provided, this accident would not have taken place, period. How? At the red signal, the Kavach system would have stopped the train, even if the driver did not. Then when after 1 minute of stoppage, when he would start to enter the section, it would not allow the train to go at a restricted, more than restricted speed. At such a restricted speed that the driver would have seen the other train on the section and would have easily been able to stop the train, or Kavach would have stopped the train. That's the importance of Kavach. While the safety record of railways has improved, number of fatalities has certainly gone down, except last year there was a huge accident, that Balasore one, which vitiated the statistics. We have come to an era, what you said, accident-free. And we must follow drives, we must follow systems such that, and systems are available, that we become accident-free. Kavach is one. And therefore, fast rollout of Kavach is imperative, which is not happening. You see, for last 3 years, there have been so much of discussion reels and optics and so on, but we still are stuck at that 1400 kilometers in South Central Railway. Faster rollout should not be a problem today because funds are not a problem. The kind of money the central government is pumping in railways, 2.6 lakh crore, means funds are not a problem. What is required is execution, fast execution with commitment and meaning. You see, I led the team which created Vande Bharat. Vande Bharat is fine, but and it's not mutually exclusive. Vande Bharat and bullet train project and so on can go on, but projects like track upgradation, Kavach and so on have no visibility, no optics, and therefore perhaps a lack of focus on these areas. The time has come that more focus should go into such areas which would improve safety. That is one. And another thing which, a good tool which has become available is artificial intelligence. Today we have mammoth data at station from data logger, it's available. Digital data that we have in trains and locomotives also. So all the movement of trains, everything at every signal is all captured, available. What you need is to collate it. Right now it's cocooned, and then use artificial intelligence to generate meaningful alerts. Not flood with alerts, but meaningful alerts, couple of alerts in every zone per day, and then go after all the reasons which caused that near accident. Alerts would give you near accident. That will generate a culture of safety, and it can actually take us towards being accident-free.
Very good points, Mr. Mani. Let me also rope in Mr. Bhatnagar and Mr. Ramakrishnan into this conversation. Mr. Ramakrishnan, how do you respond to what Mr. Mani has said, that obviously, there are nuances when it comes to securing the ecosystem which involves railways as well. There is no dearth of money. Perhaps it's what do you get to first and what's the priority in terms of upgrading the railways that needs to be revisited?
Yeah, he is right actually, because every year recently the government has been spending more than 2 lakh crores for railways, and in the last 10 years the Indian government has spent 15 lakh crores. So it is not as if as he has rightly pointed out, Vande Bharat trains and Kavach systems are not mutually exclusive. Both can happen because the kind of funding the government has given is is much more than enough to cover multiple aspects of railway improvement, including the safety standards. So the Kavach system is one thing where actually you can, by and large, you can avoid rear collision and then head-on collisions most of the times. And this is an area where it has been a concern since Balasore train accident. Although the Balasore train accident is not a perfect case for Kavach system, but it is a rear collision where the train has gone and hit behind the freight train, and in that process coaches were jumped into the adjacent tracks, and then it got hit by another train. So this is a very good case. Actually, this Kanchanjunga Express is a very good case of had Kavach has been employed, it could have saved. Even if the driver was over speeding, it would have stopped him. So, and as I have said earlier, as per the calculations given by the Indian Railways, it won't cost more than 50,000 crores for the Indian Railways to put the Kavach system on the entire system. So 50,000 crores, even if we have a limited capacity to manufacture and then deploy that, it should not take more than 2 to 3 years for Indian Railways to deploy Kavach system, and that should become the priority among all. And the funding is not at all an issue, and this is an area where Indian Railways should actually now concentrate. Otherwise, one more accident will completely make people to lose faith in railway system, because railway is a guided transportation system. In the sense, it is not like a road transportation system where everybody is a stakeholder. Here, the stakeholders are very limited, and as a result, the train journey should become safer and safer. It should be, zero accident system. That is how we should aim that. And the second point is regarding the neglected. Another neglected part is the derailment, which has never been taken into very serious consideration, because the derailment normally doesn't involve much casualties. The casualties may be a couple of lives might have lost, And this is also an area because most of the accidents are happening because of derailment, and very few accidents, 1 or 2 accidents are happening because of this collision. So derailment also is not taken very seriously by the Indian Railways, why it is happening and how can we avoid derailment, and what would be the reason. As Mr. Sudhanshu Mani has pointed out, there is so much information available on data loggers, and they have to be deployed because it's a question of preventive maintenance. It's not about post-mortem. That is not going to help us. It is going to be a preventive maintenance. So we know, when we know that some sections are, tracks are not in good shape, or signaling system is not in good shape. So immediately, the data logger will give you the information, and that information, based on that information, you should be able to address that immediately. And that's how the audit has to be. Where is the input for the audit? The signal audit, tracks audit has to come from. It has to come from this the data, huge data where near miss accidents. So that may be many near miss accidents. So these all are the points from where actually the Indian Railway should collate data and act upon that. And it should become a serious mission for the Indian Railways. And unless otherwise they do that, the railway will not be able to live up to the expectations of the passengers.
Mr. Bhatnagar, how do you look at today's unfortunate incident and accident, and what would you say about the condition of railways over the last few years? Obviously, there have been a lot of improvements. Obviously, there have been a lot of expenses, and the expenditure is something that the government is not shying away from. But how much security and safety do you think needs to be further infused into the system so that we don't have such accidents? Mr. Bhatnagar? Mr. Bhatnagar, are you there with us, sir? All right, perhaps not. Mr. Mani, I'm going to come back to you, sir. Mr. Mani?
Yes.
Right. So we are also, in fact, very aspirational and very inspired and, dreamy about, super fast bullet trains in this country as well. How do you see that scenario unfolding, considering the fact that, we're still grappling with the old system in terms of safety and security?
So the bullet train system comes with built-in safety standards, which are, and possible violations are practically nil. You will not hear of too many accidents on high-speed lines. There have been some, but it's an inherently safe system. So we should not have a worry on that count. Old systems, legacy systems, which do not have these modern tools, modern equipment, modern systems, are more of a worry. So I don't see a problem with bullet train at all. It's a totally different ball game, and we have been debating whether we need bullet trains or not for ages. And this government only started in 2014. It has always been delayed because of political reasons and so on, but now it is on the rails. I would think that at least 2-3 more bullet train projects linking cities should be instituted, and then we can evaluate whether it is good in Indian system. It would prove to be good because it will kill the air traffic between those systems. But from safety point of view, I don't see any contradiction because we have more accidents on our conventional lines. We should go for bullet trains or not. Definitely, there is no interrelation in my opinion.
Right, sir. So, and let me also, pick your brains on what further more can be done in terms of, the kind of accidents that we have seen. I in fact, was pondering over the point that you made that, sensitization has to happen with the drivers. There's training that needs to be further, invested upon. Is that something that you feel that the current government is doing, or is there a lackluster approach to that?
There has been stress on this aspect all along, but at times it becomes a lip service, and only just after the accident you have drives and so on, then we forget about it. But modern tools of training, sensitization of staff, various measures, not with a view to punishing staff, but to sensitizing them, will definitely give dividends. So more modern tools like simulators on which drivers can be trained and so on are available, and more and more of those should be deployed. We definitely have more tools today than we had, say, 20 years back, definitely. But this alone, as I said again, will not solve the problem, because in spite of everything, human errors can still creep in. And today we have the technology to override, as I said, these human failures and prevent accidents. So while this training of staff and sensitization is important and it can give dividends, but we can have safeguards which is predicated, built on technology as well.
Mr. Bhatnagar, I hope you can hear me, sir.
I got it. Yeah.
Sir, I hope you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear.
So there was a time, perhaps a few decades ago, when rail accidents in our country were synonymous, or perhaps, in juxtaposition to road accidents, similar in terms of frequency. We still have accidents, and there are still security concerns. In the light of what's happened today in West Bengal, how do you see this entire ecosystem, ready for an upgrade, other than the upgrade that it's already going through?
Actually, in this case, we can say that there is something going wrong, but it will be confirmed after the inquiry is over. So Railway Board is doing the inquiry in the entire case, what happened, how it happened. But I can ensure that today we are very much faster and safer than the previous one. Previously, we were not having such type of technology which we have today, and we are on the right track and path. But it may be human error, maybe some foul play, but it will come after the inquiry, detailed inquiry, because in so many cases we have fined, and generally we are the first party who used to take the lead in the case of the rescue operations. So somehow something we find that there is something wrong or right, but it depends upon the inquiry, how the inquiry conducted and how the thing going on. Yeah, please.
Mr. Ramakrishnan, inquiries are aplenty when it comes to the pending ones. But the fact of the matter is, what does this do to the confidence of the local traveller? What does this do to the confidence of the people who in fact rely on rail yatras, for their onward and ongoing journeys? And of course, the railways is also a big limb, if I can call it that, for the lack of a better word, when it comes to the economy of the country. What kind of an impact do these accidents have?
No, it all. I mean, people know that the rail travel is the safest among all modes, except the air, actually, because as I have earlier said, that it's a guided transportation system, unlike road. So people have faith, but if at all accidents happen very frequently, then people will start losing their faith, and then they will, they will have. I mean, the Indian Railway will be very difficult to find. Get the hope of the passengers back. So that is one thing. Second thing is, you asked about the safety. Why the government? Why we can't prioritize safety over bullet train, or for that matter, high-speed rail? So, see, the government has spent 15 lakh crores on railway investment in the last 10 years, whereas the bullet train project was allocated only 1.5 lakh crores. That too, 81% of them are Japan aid. So the government has spent very little on Ahmedabad-Mumbai bullet train, whereas most of the funding has come from the central government only for the conventional rail, the existing tracks only. So the point that the bullet trains have eaten away our resources, and as a result, we are not able to spend enough money on conventional train services is totally foolish. It's totally absurd. So we have spent, but the only thing is the priority should be on the safety systems. implementing the safety system, especially cover system across the entire network, which will not cost more than 50,000 crores. So they must be able to do it in the next 2 to 3 years. So even if they do it for 20,000 kilometers every year, rather doing it for 1,200, 1,500, 2,000 kilometers every year, people will gain confidence. People will know that cover system is there and it is going to, it is a suraksha. As you have rightly said, it is a suraksha, and people will have will regain faith in the system, because cover system will avoid such a severe collision accidents, and as a result, the casualty. Other dimensions, like as I have said, derailment, other things also have to be taken care by the railways by by collating all the data from various sources and then working on that. There is actually, in my opinion, there should be a member safety also should be there in railway board. Unfortunately, there is no member safety. There are extremely good railway engineers who have done exceptionally good work on railway safety when they were posted in their respective zones. And one of them may be taken as member safety, and then he can be given the in charge. Say you have to make it perfectly accident free. If you don't make it, we will sack you. We will fire you. That kind of approach should be there. It should be a mission. The Indian Railway should go on a mission mode by deploying the best engineers who have worked, who have an extremely exemplary track record on improving the rail safety in their respective zones and divisions. So this can be, done, but that is for the Ministry of Railways to take a note of it, and the Prime Minister office also should take note of it.
Mr. Mani, in terms of having a full cover of the covered system throughout the country, what do you ascertain, sir, have been the challenges?
So I'll not go get into my friend Ramakrishnan's paradise of 2-3 years. No, it cannot be done in 2-3 years, in my opinion. So from 0 kilometers per year for last 3 years or 4 years, 5 years, whatever, I do think that if this becomes focus number 1 of Indian Railways, and it should, then we should be able to do anything between 3 to 5,000 kilometers per year, route kilometers. Now, that means in 5 years we can do 25,000 kilometers, and that would take care of your all major trunks. So this is not something which is going to happen overnight, but in 5 years we can ensure that most of your dense traffic areas are covered by Kavach, and they would become almost accident-free. But it needs a focus and commitment. As you said, what are the other challenges? You see, CRS report of Vijayanagar accident, which has come out some months back, has made 2 very good points. It has said wherever you have automatic signaling territory, because it is more prone to collision, because you are allowed to cross a red signal, please put those sections in priority for Kavach. So that's a very good suggestion which railways should follow in toto very early. That's one. And it has also said that because ground equipment of Kavach, which means a tower, a control room equipment and so on, takes more time. It's a civil engineering work, and it has to be done at the site. Fitment of Kavach equipment in locomotives and trains is comparatively easier. So pending coverage of the of the tower and the control room work, all locomotives as far as possible should be equipped with Kavach. Now you can say that what would be the use if the section is not Kavach friendly? Well, you see, when you have Kavach, which is a signaling system, then it gives you a guarantee. It is an assured guarantee of no collision, no failures, because it's based on the signal itself. But there is a good, not assured, but good probability of avoiding a failure if all the moving rolling stock are fitted with Kavach and section may not be fitted yet. So which gives you a good probability of avoidance, which could have happened in this case also, without the section having been covered by Kavach. So these are some of the suggestions which are already there, and we should be following that.
Absolutely. So
for more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.